Before you set up your first ad, make sure you grab the $5 filter method walkthrough. It shows you the exact ABO setup, the cutoff points, all the decision points, and what to do if you get a sale. Comment filter below and we'll send you the link. How are you doing,
Excited. I'm very good. I'm excited to be on. I love
buddy?
coming on these, which is why I get up early to record them with you.
Dude, I love having you here. So Chris is like kind of an OG in the world. I remember Chris was already successful, already had a really solid brand, and you were already creating educational content back when I was getting started, which was like 2017, I think it was.
That's right. You took courses and coaching with me in the past a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I did. And I remember what always stood out to me with you in particular was the low budget testing. I always thought that was really cool. And then also your product research, which I already said we'll have to do that later. Today we're going to talk about your testing methods. But you've always had a unique and like kind of pioneering spirit. I felt like I've always felt like the stuff that you present is pretty original. Like you got there on your own by like traveling your own journey and like learning from your own mistakes. And I've just always really appreciated that about your content.
Thank you. I appreciate that too. Yeah, I learned from a lot of mistakes, but anyway, it's how you go. But even though we're going to cover ads today, and I'm going to teach you how you can maximize your budget to test a lot of products. I want you guys to keep in mind that we're in a product-based business, right? I could teach you everything I know. You could become a ads ninja guru and you won't make any money at all if your products are not good. So although this is a great tool to use, it's all about your products. I want you guys to keep that in mind.
1000%. We say that all the Facebook ad kung fu in the world is not going to scale a losing product.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay.
I love the rose thing, by the way. That is awesome.
Which one?
Some of my clients on both of them. Some of my clients on those. I already have a client and a particular product in mind that I should encourage her to go for that.
I'm going to share something I probably shouldn't, but we tested this with a merchant at the beginning of the year. This is the big one I'm holding, not the small one. And the merchant we tested with sold about 1,000 of these in a week. And they told us that they had the lowest CPAs that they had seen since COVID. Now, I'm going to be totally honest that didn't continue, right? But that's why we brought this one in and tried to get it out as quickly as we could to everybody. So
yep, I already have someone in mind for that. I'll talk to him later.
Lots of potential here.
I have a call scheduled with him today, so perfect.
So hey, I've actually got some questions to kind of kick us off here with this. So, dude, you've been doing this since I think 2010, right?
No, I started affiliate marketing and online since 2010. I started doing e-commerce stuff since late 2012.
2012. So 13 years ago, 15 years ago.
13
Dude, that's crazy. That means somebody born the same year you started this is now in high school.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
That's crazy, dude. So, okay, here's a question. What's the biggest mistake you see merchants make when it comes to testing products?
Overspending. I mean, seriously, overspending. I mean, people, they want their product to work so badly that they're not looking at they're not seeing the data that's telling them, right? The data's punching them in the face saying this is a losing product, and yet they keep spending on it. I mean, so I've had people who signed up for my coaching, right? For example, okay, I'm going to tell this particular one story, but ShineOn seller, by the way, she signed up for my private coaching, and the first thing I do when I have people experience sales, I go through their ads manager, and I look for things that they either gave up on quickly or showed some sign of life that maybe we should go back and revisit, or maybe tweak the phrase a little bit or try the same phrase on a different product. And I was blown away by this one thing. She had spent $900 on one product and had 5 sales. I was like, what the F? I'm like, I mean, why would you let that run? And she just really wanted it to work. And she kept spending and spending and spending on it. And I was just like, that was a colossal waste of resources. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people think that, getting private coaching is expensive, but actually in some cases, not getting coaching is more expensive because of the wasted money you spend on ads that you don't, read the data, and you don't have someone pushing you in the background saying, hey, look, that's not good, or the waste of time you have and effort into something into methodologies and product creation that doesn't work. So I mean, yeah, that
It's
was
it's that sunk cost fallacy where you throw good money after bad. I used to play lots of poker, competitive poker and stuff. And this is one of those emotional things you got to get control of where, you're playing the hand and everything's going for you. And then on the turn or the river, which is like the fourth or the fifth card in poker, things can go south. And you might realize another player's got a better hand than you. And if you're already kind of pot committed, if you already got a bunch of money in that pot, it's really hard emotionally to let it go and fold. Even when like rationally, it's the safest move. You want to keep chasing it for that little chance that maybe it works out. Right? It's a sunk cost fallacy. So look, you claim we're going to get to the method.
I mean, it's funny. I used to play a lot of blackjack, right? And really, when it comes to Facebook ads, we should be counting cards.
I like it. Explain.
I mean, we are card counters when it comes to running Facebook ads. We're not gamblers. In other words, you guys don't know, but blackjack is actually the only game in the casino where if you play proper strategy, by that, not cheating, but proper legal strategy with basic strategy and adjusting your bets based on the counting the cards, the player actually has a mathematical edge over the house, and the casinos all know it. But there's so many dumb players out there; they don't really care about the small number of players.
They just want to drink beer and lose money, apparently.
Who actually know how to play. But anyway, the point is, we need to be playing logically with ads and counting the data rather than gambling. And
Absolutely.
most people out there are gambling.
So look, I'm about to. This is a whiteboard session today, people. You guys really liked that last time I did it. I'm going to bring that up in a second. But I have one more. So look, you claim I went back and I watched your $5 filter method in PodU just to be ready for this. And something that stood out to me is that you claim you've never seen a winning product without like good cost per click.
That's right? Cost per click. Yep.
Yeah. And like that's a pretty bold statement, dude. That's a pretty bold statement. So walk me through why that's like the foundation of your whole method here.
Okay. All right. So a lot of people want to focus on purchase and cost per purchase. And ultimately that's our ultimate goal. That's our secondary goal. We want to make profit, right? So you think that should be our first goal. But here's the reality is to make money with ads, you need to be able to scale them, right? So if you can't take your ad to say go from $20 a day, I'm talking about the month you're investing on a product, go from $20 a day to $100 a day to $500 to $1,000. And I've had clients and myself spend thousands of dollars a day on a particular product campaign. If you can't do that, you can't make good money with this business. You can make a little bit of money, maybe some money to go out to the restaurant with your wife this weekend or whatever, maybe go on a little small vacation, driving vacation, not even airplane. But I mean, talking about real money here. We're talking about like money in which, you can take a long vacation or you can quit your job, right? You need to be able to scale, right? And to scale that, you need to be getting regular traffic to your site, right? At a decent clip, a decent cost per link. Like for example, they show your ad to 100, you need people coming over your site regularly to scale it big. And so I've come to the conclusion that the number one most important factor for a successful campaign to scale, it's actually not your cost per purchase. Yes, you need to be profitable there, but more important than that, you need your cost per link click to be good. If your cost per link click is like $3 or $4 per link click, I don't care that your cost per purchase is good or not. You can't scale it. It just won't scale big because over time, that cost per link click will eat into your profit.
Well, and you put a ton of pressure on the rest of the business because your conversion rate, the fewer people you have in through the door, the higher your conversion rates have got to be, which is actually that's a skill in and of itself. That's like very difficult to pull off.
So hence, I'm looking at two factors to know if a campaign is profitable. My cost per purchase, but more important than my cost per link click. If those two align, then I know we're onto something.
Okay, let's map this out. Okay, so it's $5 a day is the budget, right?
Okay, so what we're going to do is this is kind of an old school method, and it's still working to this day. So a lot of people are gonna say, "What about the using campaign? What about using CBO?" And I definitely love CBO, but CBO to me is better for scaling, for testing. I do have a CBO testing method because these days some ads accounts you have to use CBO. They've some brand new ads accounts, but anyway, if your ads account, you can use what's called ABO, ad set budget optimization. That's what I'm gonna recommend for this testing.
So it's
Now,
$5 a day.
per ad,
ABO.
you want two to three ad sets. $5 a day on 2 to 3 ad sets.
So
ABO.
So that's $15, right?
That's right. 10 to 15
Yeah.
bucks.
Okay. So let me hang on. Let's make sure everybody kind of understands what's going on here. So you've got your campaign. So this is the campaign one product or multiple
That's
products?
what. Yeah, always one product per campaign because I want to be able to look at the campaign and see the overall data.
So one campaign per product.
That's right.
And then you have
instead of using campaign budget optimization, which puts the budget on the campaign, I want to use ad set budget optimization. The reason why is this. If you do a CBO, campaign budget optimization, you have 2 to 3 ad sets, Facebook will not spend evenly over each ad set. It will say, okay, I like this ad set, this interest better. I'll spend more on that. I want to spend equally on each ad set so I can truly know how each ad set performs. So I put the budget on each individual ad set. That's called ad set budget optimization. And this is old school method, but it still works awesome today. In fact, I had an experienced seller sign up recently for my private coaching, and he was blown away how effective this is. I mean, this is what we want to do for testing.
How many ads per ad set?
Okay. I'm usually 1 or 2, but you can have as many as you want. That's fine. I mean, if you want to test multiple creatives, then you can do that.
I'm just going to do 1 just to keep things simple for everybody.
Yeah, but you can have 2 to 3 creatives if you want. Some people do that.
Okay, so it's $5 per ad set. It's 1 campaign per product. So it's really $15 a product.
10 to 15 bucks. Usually 2 is enough, actually.
2. Well,
2 ad sets.
Let's just keep everything as simple as possible here. So $10 a day is really what we're looking at. $10 a day.
Very beginning. That's right.
Total for the test.
That's right.
And how long do you let this run?
Okay, I usually look after 1 day. The reason being is, look, this is not a scaling method, okay? This is not for scaling. I want to be very, very clear about
this is here.
This is just, we're just testing if a product has viability or not. You got to understand that when you run ads, it's the 80-20 rule on steroids. So it's the 2%, 98% rule. 2% of your products are going to drive 98% of your business. So we need to get rid of the losers quickly and cheaply. And this is what this is for. Okay. So what I'm looking for after day 1 is my cost per link clicks.
Got it. So day 1, we evaluate CPC. What's it need to be?
Okay. Here, there's a little bit of variance here, unfortunately, with product type and the niche that you're in. But to give a general principle, I would say $2 or less.
CPC, needs to be less than $2.
And I look at each ad set. So what will often happen is one ad set will be at that and one will not. So we'll turn off the one and leave the other.
Okay. Turn off at ad set level, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to repeat this. I just want to make sure everybody gets it. So it's 1 campaign per product. So and by product here, we're not saying Love Knot or Alluring Beauty. We're talking about like the design. Right? And the phrase and all that stuff. So it's
I love my wife, Love Knot necklace.
Yes, exactly. So it's 1 campaign per product. And then in that campaign, you're going to have at least 2 ad sets, but you can have 3, right? Yep. Each ad set is going to have a $5 budget because we're using ad set budget optimization, right? Over here. And then what you're going to do in each ad set is going to have 1 to up to 3 ads, right?
That's right.
The way I've drawn it here is the simplest way to run this method. And then what you're going to do is you're going to let this run for a single day, and you're going to come in here and you're going to check it. And if the cost per purchase,
cost per link click.
Oh, you're right. Cost per
link click.
There, I'll put it like that. Cost per click. Gosh dang it, dude.
Link click, not CPC all. This is a really critical thing. Facebook has this thing I wish they'd get rid of, called CPC all, which is if someone likes or comments on the campaign or just stops and looks at it for a little bit, that counts as CPC all. Yeah. They're engaging in him. The key is cost per link click. Link click is the key, guys. A link click means they're clicking over and going to your website.
Yeah, because cost per click also includes when they just click like the ad or the image or something like that.
That's right.
Is this, remind me, how is it actually displayed in Ads Manager? Is it like
It
this?
says CPC link.
It's
It's called CPC link.
like that, isn't it?
Yep. CPC link. Yep.
Yeah, okay. And then if it's greater than $2, so if CPC link is greater than $2, we turn off the ad set, right?
Okay. Yes, but there is one exception. I want to get into exceptions after you go over but yes.
Nope, go ahead, man.
Okay. If it's got a sale, then I might go ahead and let it roll another day and see what happens.
Okay. If cost per, and this is fine, and purchase equals 0, then turn off at ad set level.
That's right.
Okay. Let's keep going here. So if CPC link is less than $2 or per greater than 0, then let run one more day, right?
That's right.
Okay. So this is day 1.
That's right.
All right.
Now, can I point out a couple of things? So if you're a bigger company or you've got a bigger budget and you want data faster, then yeah, go ahead and you can use bigger budgets like $10, $15, $25. In fact, I worked with a client. In fact, I had to sign an NDA with them. But anyway, they're a big company. I'm working with them around this time. They're a massive company and they have a huge marketing budget. And the head of marketing, when the CEO signed me up, the head of marketing kind of laughed at this method. And I said, look at all the money you're wasting. And he said, okay, fine. We want to use, they're running like $500, $1,000 ads all the time, right? That's their norm. So I said, look, for new products, let's do $25 only. Just trust me on this. $25 only, 2 ad sets, because you're wasting hundreds of dollars. And with $50 to spend, we'll be able to know. Yeah, and now, after working with them for a couple months, they're like, "Wow, this is awesome!
Yeah.
Our ads budget has gone way down because you're right. For him, I call it the $25 filter method because they want to spend more money, get data faster. So yeah, if you want to be a little more aggressive, get more data and know quicker, that's fine. But don't go above $25. Even for that big company, I told them don't go above $25 because that's all we need to know.
I'm telling you, the best cold acquisition marketers in the world are in the print on demand game because we're constantly you have to keep budgets low on the front end or you'll die.
Right.
So look, here's where I think there are a couple points of confusion here. So first of all, Facebook relentlessly shoves CBO down your throat, right? And you're using an ABO method. So why do you think they're wrong?
Okay. First of all, I don't think CBO is wrong. There is a testing method for using CBO that I'm working on now and I have been developing. We're still it's kind of a work in progress. But CBO is great for scaling. Okay. It's awesome. I mean, I have 3 scaling methods that I use and 2 of them are based on using CBO. So I'm not saying CBO is wrong, but what I want to do though, and this will, when we get into what we're going to talk about next is the targeting for these. I want to have a proper test at the ad set level on different targets, which is why sometimes you want to use 3 ad sets. I'm just going to get into the targets here in a second. And so to do that, I need to use ABO. CBO will not provide a proper spending on each individual ad set. It just doesn't do that. CBO, in fact, is designed for Facebook to use this AI and algorithm to narrow down and hone in on 1 or 2 ad sets. If you run a CBO campaign, I don't care if you have 1,000 ad sets underneath there. And that I wouldn't recommend that if I'm just trying to make an extreme example so you understand. Okay. So I'm not recommending 1,000 ad sets under CBO, but I'm just trying to make an example. Okay. So let's just say you have 1,000 ad sets under the CBO. What's going to happen is within 2 to 3, sometimes a month, Facebook will hone in on 1 or 2 ad sets and you can have $1 million budget and it'll spend $950,000 on 1 ad set and maybe $50,000 on another, and the rest of the 998 ad sets won't get any spend at all. Yeah. And people think that is some sort of like error. It's not. I have talked to a developer at Facebook. Just being through the introductions and whatnot, whatever. I had a conversation. It's designed that way. CBO is designed for Facebook's algorithm to hone in and eventually narrow in on something for you, right? And it doesn't properly test each ad set. It just doesn't, and it won't, and it never will. Hence, I like to use this method for initial testing because
it forces spend.
It forces the spend equal to each ad set.
Yeah, makes sense. So let's talk about targeting here. I should have
Okay.
asked this earlier.
Okay. All
Yeah, so
right.
when
So
it
now
comes to
target.
setup, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So targeting. Okay. So there's two types of sign-on sellers. There's the people who do what I call generic products. Generic means like to my husband, to my wife, to my daughter, to my cousin, whatever. Right? It's they're not niching down beyond
Okay.
the what do you call it? The
It's
status in life.
it's big relation. Yeah, it's relationships. It's family
Okay.
relationships.
So in that case, here's what you can do. You have one ad set where you use a very general target. So let's just say it's a gift for wife. Okay. You would have a target and you would probably think, oh, I should target married, right? And I actually don't recommend that target. And the reason being is so many people out there are married and don't tell Facebook that they're married. Okay. I'm married and I don't tell Facebook that I'm married, right? They don't go in the demographics and put that in there, right? And number two is all the big box sellers are using those generic targets because they don't know what they're doing really, basically. They're just going in and they're on there for $1,000 a day. So you're in a really competitive market, right? So what you do is you just think about, okay, what ages are likely to be married? What ages are likely to be married? So you do no targeting ages, say 35 to 35 and up men. I mean, the odds that 35-year-olds and up are going to be mostly married is very high, right?
Right.
Very, very high. So that's one target. Another target would be so you go and you do now, you're still gonna use advantage audience, right? But you're gonna do it says suggest add suggestion. There's that little button there that says add suggestion. And you're gonna think about this. Okay. So what kind of hobbies and activities do married people do together? What kind of thing, right, would they do together? And eat out at restaurants, I don't know, maybe they drink wine together or whatever. So one target that I've had success with, or I've had clients have success with, is Olive Garden, right? Very popular restaurant for couples to go out on a date in, right? So just think about targets like that, right? Say it's a gift for daughter, right? Again, you would do the same thing. One interest would be, okay, what age groups
Right.
would likely be, men and women, right? So obviously use both genders. What age groups would likely have kids? Probably 35 and up as well. So, right, likely to have kids, right? Another target would be, okay, what activities would family people engage in, right? And the other target you would do some sort of thing that people would likely engage in. For example, amusement parks, right? Most people who go to amusement parks go with their family.
Right.
So that's a good target to do, right? So 35 up amusement parks. If you choose parents, which you can test that market out, but you understand that parents is the most natural thing to go after, and every single big company, big box marketer who doesn't know what they're doing, just gonna go in there. Oh, parents, beautiful. Okay, great.
I actually
ten
think you
thousand dollars.
I actually think you had a really good point about people not putting all their information in Facebook anymore. I think, between 5 and 10 years ago, people are probably a lot more honest and free with the information they gave Facebook. And post, the whole Cambridge Analytica thing and COVID, you're right. I think a lot of people distrust giving their information out. That's something I actually hadn't considered. I think you have a really good point.
So that's why if you target parents, you target married or in a relationship, those kind of targets. Number one, you're not hitting. You're probably hitting 10% of the people who actually qualify for that status. Two, now you're up against the big box sellers.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah. So I still, even though the advantage audience is there, I use it, but I still like to use the interest targeting in combination.
So
A
is the
mixture.
idea that each ad set has a different target?
That's right. Each ad set needs to have a different target. And so, which is another reason why sometimes you have three. I mean, sometimes let's just say, okay, we'll use the beer niche, which is a niche I sold in the past a lot. Okay. So let's just say, this could be a case where I want to have three. Okay. So, all right, I've come up with a design and there's a few types of beer drinkers. There's the redneck beer drinkers, there's the blue collar beer drinkers, and then there's the craft beer drinkers, right? And I'm not sure, 100% sure which one this product might appeal to. So I might go in and choose one target, do three ad sets. One target would be craft beer, right? Another one might be NASCAR. I'm getting the red there, and then another one might be, I don't know, heavy industries, right? Where I'm getting the blue collar type of people, right?
Right.
So then I got all three of these targets, and then I can go through and by testing each one, I'm physically spending each one. not only am I able to test whether the product's got viability, but I'm also able to look at the data and say, okay, oh wow, the rednecks and the blue collar workers are the ones who really appealed to this one. The crap beards didn't like this one. Okay, now when I go to scale, I'm going to focus on these audiences, these type of people, and look for other targets similar to that.
So I want to help some people. I want to be super clear about what you're saying here, because I can hear the questions I'm going to get now. It's like, why would I target construction? Like, do I need a construction a product that is for construction workers or something? It's not that at all. You're looking at the buyer, right? So if it's like what Chris is doing is he's saying, if I have like a to my daughter gift, right? It's parents that are going to be buying that gift for their daughter. I'm sorry. Let me back up, because the example used was beer. So if Chris has a product that's related to beer, right? And he's trying
to my beer drinking life, to my beer drinking wife,
to my beer drinking wife, and he's trying to figure out which audience is most likely to buy this. He starts thinking about beer drinkers, and he's putting the beer drinkers in different groups. And then he's thinking, how do I reach that group to see if they want this product? And how do I reach that group to see if they want this product? And how do I reach this other group to see if they want this product? And so he's kind of reverse engineering the targeting in his mind. And that's why he's using, I can't remember what the examples were, NASCAR,
craft beer, NASCAR, and
heavy industries, whatever. Yeah. And it's just an experiment. This is what marketing is about. You got to test to see which audiences are going to respond to your ads, right? And you have to, if you want to find where your purchasers are, you need to create lots of surface area in your testing. And you can do that with Facebook's targeting, right? So back to what Chris is suggesting here. So you have one campaign per product. And then at the ad set level, remember, you're using ABO, so ad set budget optimization. At the ad set level, each ad set has unique targeting. That way you can show your ads to unique pockets of people and see which ones respond the best to your product. Right? Is that correct?
That's correct. And you can do this for any niche. So let's just say you have a golf related product, right? You can do that. You can go and find hobby golfers or people who are really into watching PGA, or that, you can do that. Or let's just say you have, I don't know, give me another niche.
Well, I actually have an example, a real life example of how I've done this in the past. So like one of the products I scaled was a To My Wife product. And I was trying to figure out which demographic of husband was most likely to buy the product. And where I got to mentally was I thought I took the restaurant idea. I was like, I'm going to target a bunch of upscale restaurants, right? And then I'm going to target a bunch of like mid-scale restaurants. And if I remember right, the upscale ones were like steak houses and stuff like that. And the mid-scale ones were like, this was a while ago, were like Applebee's, Chili's. It's like you sit down and you pay a little bit more, Cheesecake Factory, that kind of thing. And then the low scale restaurants was fast food, Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell, all that stuff. And I found that the fast food group responded way better to my product than the others. So then in my next test, because I go, I got data here, right? Apparently the people that like fast food or whatever into this, I wonder if people are into big retail chains, Walmart, Big Lots, Dollar Store, et cetera, are into this. And sure enough, that worked too. And then I started thinking, okay, I started thinking about that income demographic, and I started thinking a lot of these people are rural. I started looking at where the purchases were coming from. Then I started targeting pickup trucks, country music, fishing, stuff like that, right? And it's when you test this way, you learn about your buyer, and you can lean into that, and it gives you ideas for more testing.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so very good. All right, so do I need to know anything else about the setup here?
Okay, no, that's for the setup. But we need to go what to do, what happened on day 2 and day 3, and so on and so forth, and you start getting sales. There's more to it, but this is day 1 setup. Yes.
Okay, tell me about day 2. Are you not sure when to kill your ads versus let them ride? You need to make sure you're using the $5 filter method walkthrough. It's a checklist we created that covers literally everything in this video. Just comment filter below and we'll send you the link.
Okay, day 2. Okay, so day 2, what I'm really looking for here is the cost per link to be going down, and I'm starting to look to see if we're getting a purchase or not. Okay, usually the cost per link on day 2, again, general principle does give me some variance in niche, variance in product. So you got to play with this a little bit in the beginning when you're first starting out, so you learn what the target numbers are for your particular niche is. But I would say $1.50 or less is what you're looking for the cost per link click.
Okay? On day 2.
On day 2. and so on, and day 3 and day 4, and you're
Okay.
looking to see if you're getting purchases. I want to get into what you're going to do if you get purchases last.
Well, let's hang on just a sec. So day 2, how long do you let this spin without a purchase if your
Yeah,
cost per click is
that's what I was going to get into. That was my next point I wanted to make. Okay.
okay.
So for the whole campaign on a particular product, I typically $40 is my decision point. Okay.
Okay.
If I have I'm not making any purchases, don't have any other carts, and my link clicks are not crazy good, I'm out at $40. This is not, the odds that this is a winning product is very, 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 very low. Okay. There are exceptions where I will
So
go up as high as 60, but I want to talk about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So this is 40 for the whole campaign.
That's right, for the whole campaign.
Okay.
Okay. I think really $40 is enough for you to know on 99% of your products.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I want to get back to day 1, you want your cost per link click lower than $2.
That's right.
And if you don't have a purchase, it's fine. You're going to let it run.
That's
right? So day 2 comes around and you're looking for your cost per link click to be less than $1.50.
That's right.
Now, by day 2, you spend $20 in this example.
That's right.
Okay. You're going to
assuming that both ad sets are still running, but yes.
Yeah, fair enough, because you'll treat each ad set individually. Got it.
That's right.
So you're going to let this run all the way to day 4, the end of day 4. So you will have spent about $40.
That's right.
As long as your cost per link click is within range.
That's right.
And then by the end of that, if you don't have a purchase, you kill it.
That's right.
Okay.
But there is an exception.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. The exception is if I'm getting add to carts or if I'm getting like crazy good link clicks. Crazy good would be about 70 cents, 75 cents or less. In that case, I will let it go to $60.
Okay.
And another thing I do in that case, what I'm going to get is I might start adding an ad set and testing out a different target. See if I can see if there's another target out there that I could go after.
A $40 ad spend at campaign level. If, what do you say? No add to carts.
No, if no add to carts and the cost per click is high, just you're out.
You said, okay. If no add to carts and cost per link click is over like what? $1?
Over 70 cents.
Link.
But you spent 40. The point is you spent $40.
Yep.
The key point is you spent $40 and you didn't even get one sale. The odds are extremely low. Extremely low. That is the winning product.
And this is, I want to be super clear about this because I already know people are going to say like, and this is really where people get confused, Chris. We may actually want to zoom in on this. They're going to say, hey, you're killing this, but like it could work. My cost per link click is, $1.25 a link click. Maybe if I just give it a little while, I will get an add to cart. This is where people really get confused. So like, how do you not second guess yourself here?
Because this is an expression I always tell my coaching clients. And I always, in fact, sometimes in the past, where I was doing a lot of advertising, I had to tell myself because yes, even though I spent years doing this, I fall for this emotional loop as well. A winning product reveals itself. You knew what I was going to say, right? You knew I was going to say that?
Yeah, well, I call it whale fishing for a reason.
Link clicks will be good. Purchases will come in. Winning products punch you in the face.
Once you have a winning product, people that don't have a winning product just don't know the experience of it. I always talk about whale fishing because I feel like it's a good visual to understand. If you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean and you're fishing with your rod and reel in hand, right? Here's my question. Will you know if you catch a whale? Right?
You will.
Because you're probably going for a swim, right? Or the boat's going to get drugged through the water like Jaws.
As hard as you can to hold on.
When you have a winning product, you constantly feel like you're behind, right? You constantly feel like you're leaving money on the table because it takes off at such a rate. You just don't even feel like you can keep up with it. With the ads, with the testing, with the creatives, with the conversion rate, with the post-purchase, all that stuff. You suddenly feel like, oh no, I got to optimize everything right away because it just completely takes off and it leaves you chasing it, right? It takes you for a ride. Winning products, you don't have to. Here's another way I talk about it. I say, with a losing product, you constantly feel like you're trying to create momentum for it, right? You're putting a lot of energy in it to get it moving.
Absolutely.
Winning products are the opposite. Right? They come out of the gate with momentum, right? And they're taking you for a ride. So I'm glad you put it that way.
Yeah, it reveals itself. It'll be obvious. So if you spend $40 and your link clicks are just so, and you don't have an add to cart, you don't have a sale, I mean, the odds are extremely low as winning product. I would just move on.
However, If ATCs greater than 0.
Oh no, if you're getting ATCs, by the way, add to carts unfortunately are not reliable anymore. The data is not reliable. In other words, you could have Facebook could show you have 5 ATCs, but you only have 1 or 2 or 3 because the way the cart loads now with Shopify, there's a built-in error, and Shopify and Facebook are totally aware of it, and it doesn't seem to be a fix. The ATC data is not correct, but the point is you have ATCs. If you see 3 or 4 ATCs, don't take that number for real, but just know that you have add to carts. So if you have add to carts and or you have link click costs that are like 75 cents or less, then I will let it go to $60.
Okay. I think I've got this drawn mostly correct here. And then what do you do at the end of 60?
Again, I'm out. And often, but sometimes what you can do, and I was going to talk about what you can do here if your product turns out to be a winner, but you got some action that seems probable. So and if you get in the $60, you're probably in that boat. But I just want to make sure that's clear. Is it clear? So we go to $60. If there's add to cart, although keep in mind the number of add to carts is not accurate. It never will be anymore until they fix that problem, if they ever do. Or the link click costs are crazy good. You go to $60.
Yep. Okay. I can clean up I give these away, Chris, after this. So
this is a new method. This is fascinating to watch, actually.
People really liked it the last time. I'm not very good yet.
You said I'm gonna whiteboard it to me yesterday when we were getting prepared for this. I was like, whiteboard it. I was like, this will be. I visioned something like this, but I wasn't. I never actually seen it done. So
yeah, I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm getting better. Okay, so there, I think I got that. So there are your rules, and this is really day 2 through. I don't want to put a day on it, but it's like day 2 through $40 and spend, something like that. Okay, so where were you going?
Okay. All right. So often, especially if you get to the $50 or $60 spend, right, you were getting good link clicks, you're getting add to carts, you were getting sales. So there's a couple of things you need to ask yourself. Okay. And this is one of my favorite methods is, what if I put this expression or phrase on a different product? Is there some other product within ShineOn's catalog that if I take this phrase, for example, okay, I have a love-hate relationship with the Love Knot necklace. Okay, it's a great product. Don't get me wrong, I love it, and I've had clients scale it, and it's awesome. Right, I have clients selling Love Knot right now. A couple clients selling Love Knot right now. But here's the reality: it's also the most marketed product out there.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, crazy. I'd be willing to bet half your uploads of new products are Love Knots. Am I about right?
I actually don't know the data on that.
Okay, it'd be interesting to see, but I'm willing to bet.
I will tell you though, the top selling product, it really does alternate between Love Knot, Forever Love, and then Alluring Beauty and Interlocking. And it's really interesting to watch those cycle all year long. They're constantly fighting it out for the top spot.
Okay, so let's just say you test on a Love Knot, which is a good product, but it's also a very common product, right? It's not a shocker for people on Instagram, on Facebook to see a Love Knot, right? Okay, and I got a phrase, I got really good link clicks, got some add to carts, didn't get any sales. What do I do? Do I give up on it? Oh, wait a minute. Why do I put that on a blanket? Or why do I try it on a canvas? Or why don't I try it on acrylic? Or why don't I put it with the rose thing, get a nice UGC video done for it, right? And you know what I mean? Why don't I take this thing that was getting some action on a common product, but not sales, and why don't I try it on something else? And often that can be, so it's a decent message, decent expression, and then a more unique product, and then bang, the magic happens.
I like it. So you're basically saying, run this testing method first and just, do your best guess here on the product you think is going to work. Let it run. And if you get to the place where you hit $40 and you're like, I've got some signal in the noise here. I mean, I've got a couple add to carts, or my cost per link click is within range, but you're not getting any sales. So you go ahead and let it run from 40 to 60. And at 60, you're like, okay, no purchases. I hit my rule. I'm turning this off because I'm going to be a disciplined, merchant here. I'm not going to throw good money after that.
You're going to be a card counter, not a gambler.
Yeah. But as Mario used to say, you're not going to smoke the hopium, right? However, you say, I do have some signal in the noise here. I mean, there was something about this product people liked, right? And Chris, you're saying, well, maybe take that phrase and just try it again on a different product.
Exactly.
Yeah. So maybe you go from Love Knot to Interlocking, or Love Knot to Forever Love, or maybe you keep Love Knot, but you do it on the heart box.
That's right. And that is often magic happens that way.
Yeah. It's incredible. I love that.
So that's a really powerful method.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. What else you got here?
Okay. Now what happens if you're getting purchases? Okay.
Ooh,
What happens if
good
you're getting
one.
purchases?
Okay.
Okay. So what I like to do is when you're getting purchases, I like to, okay, so I have two scaling methods based on CBO. I'm not going to go into those on this, but there's a third method, an old school method called the simple scaling method. So first you go through what's called the confirmation stage, and then you go simple scaling. So I'll cover that. Go ahead and cover that. So let's just say you get a sale and on your $5 budget, and you also have good CPC link. Okay. I would never do this if I get a sale and I got bad CPC link, because that happens a lot. I mean, there is gonna be these weird ad sets that's more common than I can imagine,
So
where you're getting $3 link clicks or $4 link clicks, and you're getting a sale, and it's
let's
bizarre, and then it just dies. It doesn't go. No other sale comes in.
let's define this. It'll be super clear for people. So if you get a purchase and cost per click is less than $2,
That's right.
$2.
Or $2 on day one and $1.50 on day two.
Yeah, but if it's above $2 and you have a purchase, you're not chasing it. That's
Do not
the
chase
rule.
it. I mean,
Okay.
and people do that, and they, oh wow, I'm all excited, and they raise their budget, and then they spend
You get burned.
$100 and they get nothing more.
Yep.
For some strange dude, fluke. The number of products I've had where you get fluke sales, I don't know, it happens.
No, it happens all
lot.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah, you get this really odd sale. Facebook served the one person in the universe who wanted it.
Well, I've seen it where like you launch. I mean, you launch something, you get like 2 sales in 24 hours, and you're like, shit, man, I'm buying a house in January, and then it's like nothing.
That's right.
Like nothing ever happens after that. Right.
Yeah, so it's weird. Yeah, so
Crazy.
I call those fluke sales. So don't get excited about fluke sales. I want to. So again, the big picture. Okay, let's go back to the very very beginning. A winning product reveals itself, and to me, a winning scalable product is the cost per purchase is profitable and the cost per link click is good.
Yeah. So
That is when I'm getting excited.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay, so what you do then is if you've got good cost per link click and you got good cost per purchase, in the morning time in your ads manager, this is really important, guys. When you do this, always do this in the morning time. There's a built-in Facebook bug that Facebook reps will argue with you till you're blue in the face. It doesn't happen. It's bullshit. It does happen. If you raise the budget in the afternoon or late evening, it'll spend like crazy and give you bad bot traffic. It's just weird. It just doesn't.
Yep.
It's bizarre. Always, whatever your ads manager time zone is, raise the budget in the morning from $5 to $25 or $5 to $15, and then go $15 to $25. That can totally work.
So hold on. You're saying if this works, if this works, you're saying scale with this ad set?
That's right.
Okay.
I call that the confirmation stage. And it could lead to old school simple scaling, which is not the ideal one. The ideal one is to go to CBO, but anyway, I still want to go ahead and cover this for people because people use this. Brian, I showed post Brian's he's cool with me talking about this. Brian's results. He loves the simple scaling method. He's still using that today.
So you're saying, how much do you say to raise it by?
You can go, I usually 5 to 15 or 5 to 25 or 5, 15, and then 25. I call this confirming. This is the confirmation stage. This is stage 2. This is before scaling.
Yeah. So so confirmation stage, right? So if you have a purchase and the cost per click is less than $2, you want to scale the ad set budget. Can I make that bigger? I don't know if I can. No. You want to scale the ad set budget from 5 to
15.
15. These are in consecutive days, right? So like
That's
day
right.
1, scale it up by 5. Day 2, scale it up by 15.
No. Scale it from 5 to 15 and 15 to 25.
Okay.
So what you're doing is confirming what we're doing here is we're confirming a little more spend if we truly have a winner or not.
Got it. Okay.
Now, and by the way, like I said, Brian, you see me post his results quite frequently. Coach and I have been working with me for years. He's tried the other 2 scaling methods that I'm not going to cover on this, and he still prefers this one. It still works best for him.
Okay.
So this totally works. And I'm going to cover simple scaling here because it's so easy to teach. You're going to be shocked at how simple this is.
All right. So the idea here is, let's repeat for everybody. Okay. So you're doing your test, right? So you have 1 campaign per product. You have a minimum of 2 ad sets. You're using ABO, ad set budget optimization. You set a $5 budget per ad set. Each ad set's got like 1 or 3 ads. Let's keep it simple. Let's say each ad set's got 1 ad, and you're going to let that run. And then on day 1, so you should have spent at least $5 per ad set, right? You're going to check your cost per link click, right? And you just want it to be less than $2 on day 1.
That's
right? You don't care about purchases, don't really care about anything else. If your cost per link click is less than $2 on day 1, you're gold. You're going to let it go to day 2.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Then on day 2, you expect the cost per link click to be below $1.50.
That's right.
Right? And hopefully you're starting to get some like add to carts. And if you have a purchase, great.
Yeah.
Right.
Great. Yeah,
as long as the cost per link click is less than $1.50, you're going to let it roll. If it's over $1.50 on day 2, you kill it.
That's right. And we're looking at each individual ad set individually.
Yes, each ad set individually, not the campaign.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. And then by $40, you're going to check it again. Right.
That's right.
And at $40, if there's no add to carts, and if there's no add to carts and your cost per link click's greater than 70 cents, you're just going to kill it.
That's right.
But if your cost per link click is less than 70 cents, there's something about it people like, you're going to let it run to 60.
That's right.
Okay. By 60, you really want a sale.
That's right.
And if you have no sales, you kill it regardless of anything else.
That's right.
However, because that cost per link click was so low, you go, maybe there's something here people like, and you might test on a different product.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. And if you're at $60 and you have at least a sale, then you're going to move to the confirmation stage.
That's right. Actually, you can move the confirmation even earlier if you're getting a sale on day 1 or day 2. That's right.
So as soon as you have a sale, you move to the confirmation stage.
If the link click cost and the cost purchase is profitable.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, and then the idea here is you just marginally raising the budgets to drive more traffic, and you're just you're kicking the tires here. You're just seeing if the market is interested in this. So you're going to slowly increase the budget, and you're doing it on the original ad set.
That's right.
So you're going to go in there, and in the morning, it's
really important. For example, I've got a client who I've worked with for a long time in Malaysia, but their ads account is set for East Coast United States time. So he has to go in and up the budget in the morning time on the ads. Once you set the time zone for your ads manager, it can never change.
What is the mornings? Can you give a range?
Before noon. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. and go, I got to turn on my ad. No. Wake up, do your thing. Just get in there in the morning.
Okay. So you're going to raise the budget before noon. You'll go from $5 to $10, 10 to 15, 15 to 25 or whatever.
Something like that. That's right.
We're just slowly kind of stepping up the budgets to see if it takes. Okay. Got it. Next steps.
Okay. Again, it's all about looking at the link click cost and the purchases. If you're profitable, you may want to test out. You could add a couple more ad sets if you want to test out some other targets. And now another thing, when using ABO, this is a really important thing. No more than 5 active ad sets at a time. Okay. It's because of the overlapping audience thing that Facebook doesn't like anymore. If anyone who sees an old school video on YouTube, I saw one the other day. I was shocked. I don't know how someone's pimped one of my videos and has it up on YouTube. I talk about scaling out when I used to do like 500, or I do 100 to 200 $10, $5 ad sets. I call it scaling out. That method does not work anymore. I've removed all those videos from my own channels, but some people have copied my videos and still have them out there on YouTube. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, that doesn't work. You want no more than 5 active ad sets. Facebook doesn't like this overlapping of audience things. So that'll happen. As you have different targets going, they'll be overlapping. And you can have a little overlapping, that's fine, but you don't want a lot of it. So
each ad set needs its unique targeting.
Regardless, it will still have some overlapping. So you want no more than 5 active ad sets on an ABO campaign. Active. The keyword being active. If you turn off an ad set, you can add another one. That's fine. But no more than 5.
Okay. I think I got that. Okay, very good. So let's say you're doing this. What are our decision points here?
Again, cost per link clicks and cost per purchase. Are we profitable? Are we making money? And our link clicks look good. The dollar.
Even in the confirmation stage. So are you okay with being unprofitable here for a little while?
If I'm around break even, or I'm okay.
So basically, it's like if break even, let it run. If not break even, kill it.
That's right. But obviously, if it's around break even, it's not really scalable.
Yeah, but the idea, you're going to continue to spend to see if it gets there, right?
That's right. Exactly.
So if break even or greater, let it run. If unprofitable, kill it. That's really your next decision point.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And based on what I see here, we're going to go with what I call the simple scaling method, which people are going to be shocked to see this and think, wow, that's really old school. It still works to this day. As I mentioned, Brian, who I've been coaching, posting results of recently, he knows the other two CBO scaling methods. I have two CBO scaling methods. He knows them. He used them, but he still uses this one. He thinks it's the best.
All right, let's hear it. What is it?
I call this simple scaling.
So hang on, we get to simple scaling if we get past the confirmation stage.
That's right.
Okay. And are you looking for a certain amount of spend here before you're like, okay, this is confirmed?
Yeah, but we're looking at about 100 to 150 in spend total on the campaign. If we're at that point, we're making good sales, profitable, good cost per link. Like, yeah, you're on to something.
And profitable.
Okay.
Move to simple scaling, right?
Okay. Now, the downside of this simple scaling method is I mismentioned you can only have 5 active ad sets, right? So, and also your max budget. I through years of testing, I can tell you this: you cannot spend more than $500 on an ABO ad set. It will die for some reason. It just does.
Okay.
So $500 per ad set's the max.
Okay.
So your max is 5 ad sets. So your max scaling potential is $2,500.
So are we still using the original?
That's right. And you can add new ones. You can add new ones too, as I mentioned. You can add new ones as you go.
Okay. And what are you doing?
Okay. Yeah, we're raising the budget. Maybe go 25 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150. After about 150 or so, you want to be maybe making jumps around 25. You want to do like 20%, 30% a day, not doubling anymore after about 150. No, up to about 200 you can double. After $200, you don't want to be doubling anymore. You just want to do 20%, 30% increases a day.
Okay. That's it. That's a whole method.
That's the whole method. And it's that simple. And it's unbelievable. This is why this is so simple. But there's a couple caveats here, which is actually why I honestly prefer the CBO method. CBOs are more long-term sustainable. They are, because the way the Facebook's algorithm is designed. This method, it's weird. What will happen with this method, if you're at the scaling stage and you're spending like $400 or $500 on an asset, it'll work for 1 week. It'll work for 2 weeks. It'll work for 3 weeks. It'll work for 4 weeks. It'll work for 5 weeks, 6 weeks, sometimes 2 months, and then suddenly, bang, it tanks. It's just weird. It just, it's a phenomenon I cannot explain, but it just does. So what happens is, if I have 2 or 3 days in a row in which it tanks, one day I don't flip out about it. One day it's going to happen. That's just part of everything. Even if you're running the CBO methods, even if you're making good profit, there's going to be a bad day here and there. Am I right? All right. It just happens.
Yeah,
it's part
of
advertising. It's part of advertising. But if I have 2 to 3 days in a row of bad days, then I know this is tanking.
Okay.
So what I would do is, whatever the budget is, let's just say it was $400 a day, I would duplicate that ad set.
Okay.
Half the budget to 200.
Okay.
And turn off the original one. And now it's something new. And it'll start kicking in again.
So if it stops working, duplicate it, half the budget, and just start over.
That's right. So with ABOs, it's all about what have you done for me lately.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Got it. I think we're good. I'm not gonna draw that part.
Okay, so
we're good though. I think this is actually. I will go ahead.
No, I just say, guys, I wasn't planning to cover this far, but I just gave you a simple method you can use based on the ABO, going from the $5 filter method, the confirmation stage, to the simple scaling method. If you want the CBO methods, which are actually better for scaling, you gotta sign up for my coaching.
And we'll get to that 1 second here. So if it stops working but it's profitable, duplicate the ad set, cut the budget by 50% and start over. Is this still within the same campaign?
That's right.
I'll try to clean this up and turn this into a lead magnet for people. So that'll be good. Okay. So like, what are some targeting mistakes you see people make here?
Targeting mistakes,
if any?
No, I don't think there is. I mean, as long as you're using reasonable targets, which makes sense. I mean,
okay. What about at the ad level? Image, video, like, what, do you have a preference here? Where are you at?
Okay. All right. So this is a bit complicated. So, don't use a busy image. So, for example, on the canvas, right? Canvases, people use the image where it's hanging up on the wall, and there's a couch and there's a desk. I mean, it's not even 100% clear what the product is. I mean, as far as like, are you selling the desk or are you selling the canvas? Two, they can't read the image. So if you're going to use an image ad, you want something that clearly shows the product. And if it's something flat like a canvas, add a tag, canvas wall art, to the bottom or to the right. If anytime you do personalization, you have to. I'll never forget this. This is back in 2018. Whenever I had a shirt that said the man, the myth, and then you can put the name, any name, the beer drinking legend. And I put an ad up that said the man, the myth, Dave. Dave's my best friend, so I use the name Dave, the beer drinking legend, and started advertising it. And we got tons of comments. Oh, that's a great shirt. Can you put Gus on there? Can you put Jim on there? Can you put what? They didn't realize that. That's the moment I realized. Whoa. So we put the example up, and then we had the little bubble that said, personalize any name here. You gotta spell it out. So the image you have when you're running ads, right? We are doing what's called interruption marketing. Okay, so we are interrupting people's day. It doesn't matter whether it's TikTok ads, Snapchat ads, Facebook ads. On social media, you're interrupting people. Okay, and it works, right? We're here teaching you how to do it. It works, but you have a split second to get their attention. So your image needs to show the product very, very clearly.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be overdone. It just needs to show the product clearly. Okay, and so that's key. And if you're going to use video, right? Videos for print on demand products, in most cases, yes and no. What does work really well though is those emotionally based UGC videos. Those are great with the voiceover.
The reactions?
Yeah, the voiceover saying the message. That can work really well. So a video that appeals to emotion or just a simple image.
Okay. Any other rules?
No, that's good.
Okay.
And clearly define, you can personalize with a name or if it's a flat product like a canvas, it might look like a meme, so you got to add a tag that says canvas wall art.
Okay.
Don't use the busy image with tons of other stuff other than the product in there.
Yeah, I got it. Add. Okay, very good. So let's see here. Here's a question I know I'm going to get. There are a lot of people that are new and their CPMs are just ridiculous, and they're gonna want to know if the cost per click rules apply because they have new ad accounts with high CPMs. What do you say?
Okay, yes, in the first week or so, maybe two, of a new ads account, you need to let it run a little longer. You need to warm up the ads account, but just don't spend a lot. I mean, just get one or two campaigns going and let it roll. Okay. What will happen is Facebook knows that you're running ads and they'll start to warm up your account. So you don't need to spend crazy amounts to warm it up, but there is a warm up period. And in that time, I'm not really paying much attention to the cost per link click. So I'm just getting the account rolling, getting the pixels and the AI rolling on that account. Okay,
very good. Let's see. If somebody is like brand new, they're trying this method for the first time, but they're probably drinking through a fire hose right now. But like, what's like one thing you want them to remember about this method?
Pay attention to your cost per link click.
I knew you were going to say that.
I mean, it really tells the story.
I knew you were going to say that.
I know it's weird. It's counterintuitive because aren't we going for purchase? And the answer is yes. But CPC link tells the story. Okay. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, if people are not going to your website at a good pace, how can you possibly scale?
Oh, no, it totally does. I mean, it's the real analogy for people here is just imagine a store. It's like you can't sell anything to anybody if they're not in the freaking store. Cost per link click is what gets people into the store for cheap.
That's right.
So the lower it is, the more people you can get to the store for the same amount of money.
That's right.
It just, people just got to visualize it. They got to work out the math. So okay.
And then also be a card counter, not a gambler.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Be a card counter and not a gambler. Any other nuggets?
The product is everything.
Chris Blair nuggets.
The product is everything, guys. I mean, look, you can master this method and all my scaling methods, but you won't sell shit if you don't have the product. Yeah, this is something I picked up from you for sure. I'm a product guy because it's product really is everything. Yeah, you want the winning product. Everything else is forgiving. You can run crappy ads on a winning product; they'll still scale. It's got its own momentum. That's what we were talking about earlier. So winning product really, really is everything. If you're testing right now and it's not working, I've been through this. I've seen this hundreds of times with students before. This is exactly what happens. They run a product that doesn't work and they go, well, the method.
It's my method. And they go to YouTube and they find some new Facebook testing method. And then they come try that one. And that one doesn't work. And then they do a little tweak and they try a little thing here, whatever. 30 tests later, they hit a winner and it freaking takes off. And it's with some crazy freaking method that they like hack their way into. And then they've got a course, right? Because they've got some new method that nobody's ever tried before. I've done this to myself, right? And that's never what it is. It's all about the product. You launch a winning product, damn near any method works.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
So sometimes people ask me this and they're like, hey, what method should I use? And I tell them, I'm like, the method you believe in is probably the one that will end up working. Just pick one, stick to it until you hit a winner. And then, surprise, it freaking works. Hey, do you want a checklist that covers all the decision points, the cutoffs, all the unique nuggets that Chris shared in this video? If you do, comment filter below and we'll send you the link to a free downloadable $5 filter method checklist that you can get instantly. Again, type filter below and we'll send you the link.